Every moment, that fierce impulse rises inside you, ready to push, shout, or act before you even realize what's happening. It's raw, relentless, and powerful. But here's the secret that ancient Stoics have known for centuries. The true battle and the real freedom begins not outside, but within. It lies in the tiny, yet profound space between that initial surge of impulse and your response. This is where your power hides, where you're invited to pause, to reflect, and to choose consciously rather than react blindly. In this video, we'll dive deep into mastering those wild, fiery impulses that threaten to control us, revealing how Stoic wisdom transforms these moments of tension into gateways of strength and self-mastery. You'll discover why what feels like freedom in surrendering to every desire is actually chains disguised as liberty, and how true freedom is the art of commanding yourself, not your surroundings. You'll see how impulsive decisions don't just cause fleeting regret. They unravel peace, invite conflict, and keep us trapped in chaos. But by cultivating awareness, observing your emotions without being swept away, and practicing patience, you unlock a radical form of resistance, calmness that fuels clarity, strength, and better choices. This isn't just a lofty ideal, it's a practical tool to reach. By the end, you'll embrace the Stoic truth that mastering your immediate impulses doesn't restrict you, it liberates you, revealing a life that is more intentional, resilient, and deeply meaningful. So if you're ready to stop being a passenger in your own emotional storm and start steering your ship through calm waters, this journey into the heart of Stoicism is for you. Let's find that inner space, harness your fierce impulses before they harness you, and step fully into the freedom that only true self-control can offer. If this is making sense to you so far, like the video and share it with someone who needs to hear this. It's a message that can truly change how we navigate the storms of modern life. We've talked about that potent, primal space between impulse and response, that sliver of time where your true power resides. But what happens if we consistently bypass that space? What's the real cost of letting our impulses run wild, unchecked, and unchallenged? Many believe that true freedom lies in indulging every whim, in expressing every raw emotion the moment it arises. They argue that to suppress an impulse is to suppress yourself, to deny your authenticity. But the Stoics, those ancient masters of self-command, would profoundly disagree. They saw this as a profound misunderstanding of freedom, a dangerous illusion that actually leads us into a sophisticated form of bondage. Think about it. When you give in to every urge, to instantly react to a provoking comment, to immediately buy something you don't need, to lash out in anger the moment frustration strikes, who is really in control? Is it you, making a conscious, deliberate choice? Or is it the impulse itself, a fleeting emotion or a conditioned desire, pulling your strings like a puppeteer? The Stoics understood that true freedom isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about wanting what is right and having the power to choose what is right, even when it's difficult. It's about commanding yourself, not being commanded by your internal states or external circumstances. This freedom of unchecked impulsivity is like being a ship without a rudder, tossed by every wave and current. You might feel a surge of power in the immediate moment of release, a temporary satisfaction, but where does it ultimately take you? Often to regret, to strained relationships, to financial woes, to a chronic sense of unease. You become a passenger in your own life, driven by the winds of passion and circumstance, rather than the captain steering your own course. This isn't liberation. It's a gilded cage where your desires become your wardens and your reactions become the bars. The irony is profound. What often feels like the most direct path to happiness, instant gratification, uninhibited emotional expression, is often the quickest route to unhappiness and internal chaos. Consider the modern world, a relentless torrent of stimuli designed to trigger our impulses. The notification on your phone, the compelling advertisement, a contentious headline. Each is a hook designed to bypass your rational mind and elicit an immediate reaction. If you bite every time, if you respond to every ping, every provocation, every temptation, what remains of your inner peace? This is where the unraveling begins. Impulsive decisions don't just cause fleeting regret. They subtly, yet powerfully, unravel your peace. Think of a thread pulled from a finely woven tapestry. One small tug, seemingly insignificant, can start a cascade, distorting the entire pattern. An impulsive word spoken in anger can create a rift in a friendship that takes months, even years, to mend, if it ever does. An impulsive purchase can saddle you with debt and anxiety, robbing you of future choices. An impulsive decision at work, driven by frustration or ego, can damage your reputation and professional trajectory. These aren't just isolated incidents. They are tiny ruptures in the fabric of your well-being. And beyond personal peace, impulsivity is a notorious inviter of conflict. So much of the friction in our relationships, whether with partners, family, friends, or colleagues, stems from reactions that weren't filtered through reason. Someone says something that rubs you the wrong way, and before you've even fully processed it, a sharp retort is out of your mouth. The other person, in turn, reacts to your reaction, and suddenly a small misunderstanding escalates into a full-blown argument. This cycle, fueled by unchecked impulses, keeps us trapped in a perpetual state of chaos, constantly putting out fires that we ourselves ignited. We find ourselves constantly apologizing, constantly explaining, constantly trying to repair damage that could have been avoided had we just taken a moment, just a breath, before responding. The Stoics, observing human nature, recognized this pattern centuries ago. They saw that our true enemy isn't the external world, or even other people, but our own undisciplined minds. The impulses themselves aren't evil. They are natural biological and psychological phenomena. What truly matters is our response to them. This is why cultivating awareness becomes not just a nice idea, but a radical act of resistance in a world that constantly demands our immediate, unthinking reaction. Cultivating awareness, observing your emotions without being swept away, is the first, crucial step towards reclaiming your freedom. Imagine your mind as a bustling marketplace. Thoughts, feelings, and impulses are like vendors shouting for your attention. Most of us, untrained, simply get caught in the commotion, pulled from stall to stall, responding to every loud voice. But awareness is the ability to step back, to become an observer in that marketplace. You see the vendor of anger, the vendor of desire, the vendor of fear, all clamoring. You acknowledge their presence, you hear their calls, but you don't have to engage with every single one. You don't have to buy what they're selling. This is the essence of what the Stoics called distinguishing your impressions, the initial thoughts or feelings that arise. Epictetus taught, "It is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them." This means the impulse itself isn't the problem. It's our automatic, unexamined agreement with it that causes us distress. When you feel a surge of anger, for example, The impulse is simply a sensation, a chemical reaction. But if you immediately assent to the judgment, "This situation is intolerable, and I must express my outrage," then you are swept away. Awareness allows you to pause and say, "Ah, here is anger. I feel it. What is its source? Is this a useful or rational response right now?" This pause, this mindful observation, creates the necessary space for choice. This isn't about denying your emotions or suppressing them until they explode later. It's about understanding them, acknowledging them, and then choosing how you will respond to them. It's about recognizing that you are not your emotions. You have emotions. This subtle distinction is profoundly liberating. You can feel furious, yet choose not to yell. You can feel anxious, yet choose to proceed with a task calmly. You can feel a strong desire, yet choose to defer gratification or decide it's not truly beneficial. This requires practice, like any skill. Start by simply noticing. Notice the tension in your jaw when you're frustrated. Notice the quickening of your breath when you're anxious. Notice the urge to interrupt when someone is speaking. This simple act of noticing, without judgment, begins to untangle you from the immediate grip of the impulse. And hand in hand with awareness comes patience. In our instant gratification culture, patience often gets a bad rap. It's seen as passive, as a weakness, as a resignation. But for the Stoics, patience is a radical form of resistance, a powerful assertion of self-control. It is the strength to delay reaction, to withstand discomfort, to allow clarity to emerge from the initial emotional fog. Imagine you're facing a difficult conversation, one that makes your heart race and your palms sweat. Your impulse might be to avoid it, to lash out defensively, or to try and dominate the discussion. But patience asks you to do something else. It asks you to breathe, to listen, to allow the other person to finish speaking, even if their words sting. To formulate a thoughtful response, rather than a knee-jerk one. This isn't passive acceptance, it's active self-command. It's the strength to choose your peace over the temporary satisfaction of an immediate outburst. Patience fuels calmness, and calmness, in turn, fuels clarity, strength, and ultimately, better choices. When you are calm, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thought, planning, and decision-making, is fully online. When you are swept by impulse, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, takes over, pushing you towards fight, flight, or freeze. By practicing patience, you give your rational mind a chance to engage, to analyze the situation, to consider consequences, and to align your actions with your values. This isn't just some lofty ideal for philosophers or monks. It's a practical tool to regain control over your life, break cycles of reaction, and build lasting peace within. Think of the small, everyday moments where patience can revolutionize your experience. The endless queue at the supermarket, the frustrating technical glitch, the slow driver in front of you. Each is an opportunity to practice. Instead of feeling your blood pressure rise, take a breath. Observe the impulse to feel irritated, and then consciously choose a different path, perhaps a moment of silent reflection, or simply acceptance of what is beyond your control. These small acts of patience accumulate, building your capacity for resilience in the face of larger challenges. You are, in essence, training your inner self, much like you would train a muscle at the gym. Each rep builds strength. Each conscious pause reinforces your ability to choose. But to truly master our impulses, we must also cultivate self-knowledge. This isn't about abstract introspection. It's about becoming a keen observer of your own patterns, your own vulnerabilities, and your own triggers. What are the specific situations, words, or feelings that tend to ignite that fierce impulse within you? Is it criticism, a perceived slight, feeling ignored, fear of failure, insecurity? What are your hot buttons? Identifying these isn't about shaming yourself. It's about understanding the mechanics of your own mind and emotions. For example, if you know that when you're tired or hungry, you're more prone to snapping at loved ones, that's valuable self-knowledge. It allows you to preemptively manage those situations, perhaps by taking a quick break, grabbing a snack, or simply warning your family, "Hey, I'm a bit depleted, so if I seem short, please know it's not you." If you know that certain types of social media posts reliably provoke an angry response in you, you can choose to scroll past them, or even mute those accounts. This isn't avoidance in a cowardly sense. It's strategic self-preservation. It's like knowing that touching a hot stove will burn you, so you simply don't touch it. This level of self-knowledge empowers you to own the power to delay reaction. It shifts you from being a passive recipient of your emotions to an active participant in your mental landscape. The Stoics placed immense importance on prosoche, constant attention to one's own thoughts and actions. This self-awareness allows you to catch the impulse before it becomes an action, to intervene in that critical space. Consider the practical technique of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, but apply it in a proactive way. Instead of just preparing for potential external misfortunes, prepare for your own, likely impulsive reactions. Before a challenging meeting, anticipate what might be said that could trigger you. Mentally rehearse a calm, reasoned response. If you know you're going into a situation where you might be tempted to overspend, prepare by setting a budget and committing to it beforehand. This isn't about rigid self-denial. It's about intelligent self-governance. It's about designing your environment and your internal responses to align with your values, rather than leaving yourself at the mercy of the moment. The power to delay reaction is perhaps the most direct application of Stoic philosophy in our daily lives. It's the moment you feel the sting of an insult, but instead of firing back, you take a deep breath. It's the moment you see a frustrating email, but instead of typing an angry reply, you step away for 5 minutes. It's the moment the urge to interrupt a conversation arises, but you choose to actively listen instead. This isn't about being unresponsive. It's about choosing a deliberate response over an automatic one. It's the ultimate exercise of your unique human capacity for reason. Big changes don't erupt out of nowhere. They grow quietly, one deliberate breath and one conscious choice at a time. The journey to self-mastery is not a sprint. It's a marathon, paved with countless small, consistent efforts. Each time you pause, each time you choose awareness over impulsivity, each time you delay a reaction, you are reinforcing a new neural pathway. You are strengthening your inner citadel. You are literally reshaping your brain, training it to respond with wisdom rather than with knee-jerk emotion. Think of an athlete training for a competition. They don't wake up one day and achieve peak performance. It's the daily discipline, the repeated drills, the small, consistent efforts that build strength and skill over time. Similarly, your Stoic practice is a daily discipline. It's in the quiet moments of reflection, the conscious pauses, the deliberate choices to act in alignment with reason, even when your emotions pull you elsewhere. It's recognizing that the work is never truly done, but that the continuous effort itself is the path to a more serene and intentional life. By the end of this journey, you'll embrace the profound Stoic truth that mastering your immediate impulses doesn't restrict you. It truly liberates you. It frees you from the tyranny of your moods, the dictates of fleeting desires, and the chaos of reactive living. It reveals a life that is more intentional, more resilient, and deeply meaningful, because it is a life that you are actively, consciously, and deliberately creating. You move from being a slave to your passions to becoming a master of yourself, capable of navigating any storm, internal or external, with equanimity and purpose. The wisdom of the Stoics offers us not a path to eliminate impulses, for they are an indelible part of the human experience, but a path to transcend them. It's about recognizing that you are not merely a collection of urges and reactions, but a rational being capable of profound self-command. As Epictetus reminded us, no man is free who is not master of himself. This isn't just a powerful statement. It's a profound invitation. It asks you to consider, are you truly free, or are you still, in subtle but significant ways, a prisoner of your own unexamined impulses? Are you ready to truly embrace this freedom, to take up the mantle of self-mastery, and to steer your ship through calm waters, no matter the storms around you? The choice, as always, is yours. If this resonated with you, and you're ready to dive deeper into this journey of self-mastery, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to the channel for more insights that can truly transform your life. And tell me in the comments below, what's one impulse you're committed to observing more closely this week? What's one moment where you plan to intentionally create that pause between impulse and response? Your commitment inspires us all.